The streets of Weatherfield are burning with deception, shattered trust, and unimaginable loss. And if you think you know exactly who is pulling the strings right now, you are completely wrong. A terrifying game of psychological manipulation is trapping Todd in a living nightmare he simply cannot wake up from, with a highly deceptive one-way ticket to Belfast looming over his head like a dark cloud. Meanwhile, the literal heart of the cobbles has been tragically reduced to ashes as Roy Cropper faces the absolute destruction of his sanctuary. And just wait until we uncover the sickening greed hidden behind closed doors surrounding Billy's tragic end. Before we dive deep into all these explosive secrets and Weatherfield betrayals, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to CoronationST Update so you never miss a single moment of the drama. Your support means the world and keeps the updates coming. Let us start with the deeply disturbing situation unfolding between Todd and Theo. What began as a seemingly normal relationship has twisted into a dark masterclass in coercive control. Theo has slowly, methodically isolated Todd from everyone who cares about him, masking his toxic behavior under the guise of deep concern and protection. He has been weaponizing their intimacy, twisting what should have been a sensual and loving connection into a relentless tool for absolute dominance. Theo even used Todd's intimidation against him, making him feel alienated and judged by the wider community, so that Todd would feel he only had Theo to rely on. When heavy accusations surfaced regarding some shady local dealings, Theo used the chaos to tighten his grip even further. He convinced Todd that the only way out, the only way to be completely safe, was to flee the country. Theo painted Belfast as a fresh start, a romantic escape where they could finally be free. But this was never about a fresh start. It was a calculated, terrifying move to completely cut Todd off from his support system forever. Todd, feeling broken, mentally exhausted, and backed into a corner, almost bought into the lie. He packed his bags, believing he had no other choice. But the cracks in Theo's perfect facade finally started to show. Sarah, whose instincts have always been razor-sharp when it comes to her friends, noticed that Todd was acting entirely out of character. He was missing shifts, ignoring urgent texts, and whenever she did manage to see him, Theo was hovering right over his shoulder, answering for him and cutting conversations short. Sarah knew something was deeply wrong, and she absolutely refused to let it go. Her relentless digging led her straight into the lion's den. In a truly heart-stopping moment, Sarah decided to check on Todd unannounced, only to make a chilling discovery. Todd was not happily packing for a holiday getaway. He was being held against his will, locked away and silenced by the man who claimed to love him. The sheer, unadulterated panic in Todd's eyes when Sarah walked through that door told her everything she needed to know. The confrontation that followed was nothing short of explosive, setting the stage for a desperate, high-stakes battle to get Todd out of Theo's dangerous clutches before he is spirited away to Belfast and lost to his friends forever. But while Sarah is fighting tooth and nail to save Todd, a completely different kind of devastation has hit the cobbles. The absolute unthinkable has happened to our beloved Roy Cropper. A terrifying and devastating fire tore through the cafe, turning Roy's rolls into a blackened, smouldering shell of what it used to be. For Roy, this is not just a loss of his daily livelihood. It is the absolute destruction of his home, his safe haven, and most heartbreakingly, his memories. As the roaring flames were finally put out by the fire brigade, the harsh, unforgiving reality set in. The fire consumed irreplicable, sentimental belongings that deeply connected Roy to Hayley. Every faded photograph, every cherished little trinket, her old red anorak, every small piece of beautiful history they built together in that space has been wiped out in a matter of cruel minutes. Seeing Roy stand alone outside the charred remains of the cafe, looking completely lost, vulnerable, and broken, is enough to bring absolutely anyone to tears. The community is in utter shock, rallying around him in his darkest hour, bringing him tea and offering places to stay, but you can see the profound, hollow emptiness in Roy's eyes. It makes you wonder how a man with such a gentle, kind soul can be forced to endure so much continuous heartbreak. Was this devastating fire just a terrible, unfortunate accident, or is there a much darker truth hiding in the damp ashes? Given the massive tension on the street lately, absolutely nothing can be ruled out, and the police are already sniffing around the wreckage. Speaking of tension, the Winter Brown household is currently an absolute war zone, and it is all thanks to the malicious, toxic poison being spread by Mal Roper. Mal has been spinning a complex web of absolute lies, trying his hardest to completely destroy Bernie and her family's hard-earned reputation. Serious accusations surfaced out of nowhere, casting a massive dark shadow over the entire family and threatening to tear them apart. Mal is ruthless, using every dirty, underhanded trick in the book to humiliate Bernie and make her daily life a living DMM nightmare. He has been whispering in the ears of the neighbours, turning former friends into suspicious enemies. But if Mal thinks Bernie is just going to roll over, cry and take it, he has severely underestimated the matriarch. Bernie is fiercely, unapologetically protective of her brood, and she is going on the absolute offensive. The fallout from Mal's vicious lies is tearing through the family dynamics, creating intense stress, sleepless nights, and paranoia for Gemma and the others. But it is also igniting a fiery, unstoppable resilience in Bernie. She is determined to expose Mal for the massive fraud and liar he truly is, piece by piece, no matter how much shit she has to wade through to get to the absolute truth. Bernie is on the warpath, and Weatherfield better brace itself for the collision. Yet, perhaps the most shocking and stomach-churning revelations of all are happening behind closed doors, right at the family dinner table. What was strictly supposed to be a quiet, respectful gathering to honour family and memory quickly devolved into a toxic, screaming battleground of dark secrets and unbelievable greed. The tension in the room was thick enough to cut with a knife, as the hushed conversation inevitably shifted to Billy's sudden and highly tragic death. For weeks, relentless whispers have plagued the corners of the rover's return. The official story provided to the authorities never quite added up, and the dark, terrifying rumours that Billy might have tragically OD'd or even deliberately offed himself have been tearing his loved ones apart from the inside out. But at this suffocating dinner, the horrifying truth finally bubbled to the surface, and it wasn't just about the exact details of how Billy died, but rather what he left behind in his wake. The sudden revelation of a massive, previously hidden life insurance policy dropped onto the dining table like a live grenade. The clinking of silverware stopped instantly. Suddenly, the profound grief in the room was completely overshadowed by raw, ugly, unadulterated greed. Fractured loyalties were instantly exposed as family members abandoned their mourning and began aggressively pointing fingers, shouting across the table, and accusing each other of hiding the policy and maliciously manipulating Billy in his final, vulnerable days. It became sickeningly, heartbreakingly clear that someone sitting at that very table cared significantly more about a massive financial payday than they did about Billy's actual life and well-being. The level of betrayal is profound and hard to watch. We are seeing characters we thought we intimately knew completely unmask themselves, showing a level of cold, heartless calculation that is genuinely terrifying to witness. Who was truly there for Billy in his absolute darkest moments when he needed a lifeline, and who was just silently waiting in the shadows for him to finally break so they could cash in on his demise? The sheer manipulation running deep through the veins of this family is staggering, proving once and for all that sometimes the people closest to you, the ones sharing your dinner, are the exact ones you need to fear the most. Trust is completely shattered beyond repair, and the intense legal investigations that are bound to immediately follow will surely drag all their dirty, hidden secrets into the harsh, unforgiving light of day. Weatherfield is a ticking time bomb right now, and the clock is running out fast. From Theo's terrifying, suffocating psychological grip on Todd, to the heartbreaking, smouldering ashes of Roy's beloved cafe, all the way to the sickening, backstabbing greed surrounding Billy's tragic demise, the stakes have truly never been higher. The constant manipulation, the endless lies, and the absolute gut-wrenching betrayals are reshaping the historic cobbles forever, and no one is going to walk away from this chaotic mess unscathed. You absolutely need to stay tuned, because the dramatic fallout from these explosive revelations is going to change the entire landscape for your favourite characters. Thank you so much for watching and diving deep into the drama with me today. If you want to stay ahead of all the crazy twists, dramatic turns, and shocking secrets coming up on the cobbles, make sure to hit that like button right now. Leave a comment down below with your wildest theories on who will get caught next, and subscribe to CoronationST Update. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a single video, and I will see you in the next one.